Welcome to the channel. My name is Tia. I'm an intuitive empath, a claircognizant, clairaudient, clairsentient, clairvoyant, and I carry the violet flame of healing. I've been guided here to YouTube to offer my gifts in service to you as you move along your pathway in this reality. I started just now in January, so I'm very new to YouTube. Thank you for stopping by. If you've already reviewed the first couple of videos, if not, welcome. I'm really happy to have you here. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on intro today. We're going to jump right into it. I am running a little bit behind. The last time I was here recording was in early February, which was a very busy month for me. And so I've been pressured over the last few days to get going on March. So going to jump into that now. These messages are for Aries. I decided this time around to start with Pisces and move from there. And today I was called to start with the Lightworker Oracle. So we're going to get from the Oracle messages for you, Aries. Overall, what does the Oracle have to say for Aries spirit? All right. I'm going to do it one more time. There we go. So, for Aries, the fifth ray of intellectual knowledge. Wonderful. So I was guided today to pull from the Oracle. When I have done so before, I read from the book, but my guides have suggested that I read just draw forth the messages intuitively. And this card is about really your awakening is being triggered by information, by things that you are learning in the physical reality that go beyond the physical reality. I'm being drawn to these images around that central figure that look very zombie-like, right? These are beings around you in your present reality that are asleep, that are unconscious. They are asleep to the fact that we are spiritual beings, powerful manifestors in this reality that are infinite and limitless. But this is an understanding that you have been awoken to, or that you are being awoken to. I am hearing that you have... I'm hearing stumbled upon a great deal of information that you have never previously been open to, that has opened you up to this understanding of yourself and of humanity in general. That in this new place there is a great deal of excitement. There is a great deal of validation I'm hearing. You know, that there is something inside you that always knew when you were thinking about the purpose of your being here. You always knew that it was more than just to come in and do the day-to-day, 9 to 5, just survive sort of mentality of being, which so many on this planet are living, right? And these zombie figures all around you, you know, see how miserable they are, how contemptuous they seem, how unhappy they are. And I'm hearing, since you were a small child, there's something deep inside you that's always known, this isn't it. This isn't why we're here. This isn't why I'm here. And that you have come across information very recently that has opened up many doors to you and confirmed for you those childhood feelings, that there is much greater reason for being, that you have a much greater purpose here. That's awesome. Let's go ahead and pull overall energy cards, pull some tarot, and see what else is feeding this great new insight for you, Aries. Overall energies for Aries spirit. Wow, yeah, they want to talk. Emotions, we'll check that. The 4 of water and the 7 of air. All right, I'm being told to turn that upright. Okay. So overall energies for you right now, Aries, you're in a place where you're learning how to balance your emotion. You are, I'm hearing, pretty balanced. That with this new insight, with this new information that you have received, that you are in a very positive place, that you are coming out, you're awoken. And that process, you realized how you were asleep before. You've realized why you were so unhappy in this reality. And it's because you're understanding that you are of the stars. You are an angel in human form. You are this magnificent multidimensional being. And that has just, I'm hearing major day, major year. You're shining in this whole new way. And people are noticing, and it's really balanced out your emotional temperament to receive this information because of that validation it's brought to your intuition, that part of you that always knew there's something more than this. So we're getting, you're practicing self-love. You're practicing unconditional love for yourself. You're seeing all of your trials and tribulations, all of your wounding in a whole new way because you're understanding that all of those experiences were necessary to bring you to this place of awakening. See how this figure is looking into that mirror with love, despite the scars he wears on his face, right? You're loving yourself despite what you've experienced in physical form. You're understanding the greater wisdom here that we come here into this reality to have these experiences so that our soul can learn from them and grow and ascend to this new level of consciousness, which we can only get to by experiencing those hardships and tribulations. And then the 7 of air. You're releasing old paradigms of thinking. You're releasing old ways of thinking as it relates to everything, but particularly in the area of spirituality. This 7 of air card is it's an energy that's about spiritual dogma, being trapped by dogma, being trapped by old modes of thinking about spirituality. And that those things are falling away for you so that you can see the greater truth that you are. Clarify these for me, Spirit. Having been there myself, it is a powerful, awesome time. The Empress, the World, and the Page of Pentacles. We're going to take that upright. Yeah, you're in a new powerful place. The Empress is an energy of stability and balance, of beauty and grace, of magnificence, of poise. And that all these new discoveries you've happened upon recently, that is cultivating this energy that you are standing in with so much grace and dignity, and that it's emanating a frequency of power and radiance, of strength. New cycle for you. This is a whole new place for you. I'm hearing a whole new world. Right? A whole new world. You've never been here before. To clarify this 4 of water, this is a new cycle for you where you understand the greater mysteries of the human reality and the human experience here on this planet. And that you're understanding as best as you can the potential that exists here, where previously, you know, you walked around as a zombie and it was just, I'm hearing nightmare. It was a nightmare that you couldn't wake from. And now you're understanding that there's potential in everything. Every past experience, every potential future experience, that it's all a situation where magic is possible. You've discovered the secret of that. And by discovering the secret that there is magic here, that there is mystery and mysticism, angels and beings and star beings from other places and other planets that are here in this reality, you're very much on the pathway of awakening. Congratulations. Like, welcome to the club. It's an exciting place to be. The Page of Pentacles. So this is about communication. So I'm getting a couple of things. I am getting that for some of you, this is about receiving communication that has helped you to let go of these old ways of thinking around spirituality and about the human experience. And that for some of you, you're going to be receiving communication around this. And then I am getting that for some of you, there's an eagerness to share everything that you're learning about this with others, that you want to offer this to other people. You want to tell other people about what you've learned. You're so excited about it. You just want to share it. You want everyone to be awake. I understand the feeling. I really do. So let's go in to, oh my gosh, a lot of really positive energy coming through for you. I want to look at what could be inhibiting you. We are approaching the full moon in Virgo on the 9th. And that is an energy that's all about confronting our fears. And so let's take a look at that, because this is an amazing place. You know, awakening, and maybe you haven't gotten to that part of it yet. There's a lot of work to be done. And it's not all exciting and fantastic and fascinating in this amazing way, and I want to take it and spread it around. Some of it can be really hard. So let's take a look at what, fears are arising for you. And we got the Self card, the King of Fire, and the Counselor. So with the Self card, as it relates to fears that you're confronting, I'm getting, so you're in this place where you're really balanced and you are fearful of that balance being upset. You found this new place of body, mind, spirit centering, and you do feel on an intuitive level that this is a temporary state. Let's clarify, Spirit. The Nine of Swords, the Fool, and the Hierophant. And we're going to check these reversals. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to keep all these reversals here. Makes sense, it did come out for your fears. Okay, so the Nine of Swords. Yeah, okay, so they're pulling me back to this, you know, the Page of Pentacles here, where you're offering what you've learned to others. And that as a consequence of that, you know, everyone is on their own journey, on their own pathway, working, moving forward in their own time, having their own lessons. I have learned through my own experience that there are many stages of awakening, and that not everyone goes through awakening in the same way. There are various approaches, various activations, There are many different lessons. Not all of us are here to learn the same things. And that maybe that's something you haven't completely understood yet. You're excited to share your experience, and there is nothing wrong with that. But the message I'm getting here is that, you know, the upset to this great place you're in is coming due to the sharp opinions and judgments of other people that are now coming at you because you're in this place and you're sharing information with them that is jolting their reality. I had to learn this lesson as well for myself. Not everyone is ready to hear it and learn it when you are. And consequently, when we're eager and we start, you know, shouting this truth from the rooftops, we can cause harm in some ways. We can only perceive that which we are the vibration of. Some people around you are not at the stage that you are at, and they're not ready to know these things yet. So when you share this information with people who are not ready, what's going to happen is that they're going to turn on you. Not always, but sometimes, and that's certainly been my experience. So that's the first part of this message. The next part is, do you see how despite these swords sort of coming at that center ribbon, that ribbon, it is kind of curling up in on itself. It's holding its own, but it is being threatened. And so the fear is that, you know, because of these reactions that you're experiencing from others, that it's upsetting this really strong, confident place that you're in. And so perhaps it's going to be helpful for you to understand, like, everyone gets there in their own time, and that what is meant for you is not necessarily meant for everyone. And that there may be a need to pull back from this desire to share what you've learned with everyone around you, and to understand that these are gifts for you in this current moment, for your evolution, for your awakening. Other people are going to have their gifts come in when they are ready to receive them. And then we have the King of Fire clarified by the Fool in reverse. And again, this is about your fears. You know, what fears are you going to be confronting, whether you're confronting them now or they're coming up in the near future. Okay, so I'm getting the message, you know, the King of Fire is an energy that's about being in our power, being in our manifestation power. And I'm hearing eagerness, that there is a very big eagerness that you have to get to the place where you're a master being. Like, you know, now that you've learned a lot about who you are in this reality, and again, it's different for everyone, that you want to be in a place of mastery, but that there is some unconscious fear, maybe conscious for some of you, because there's a lot of risk involved. You know, there's a lot of cutting away of the old when you're on this pathway. There's a lot of letting go of old paradigms, old ways of thinking. There are shifts and changes that happen in all areas of your life, right? The Fool is about taking risks, and it's in reverse. So I'm getting that you do understand that this is part of the process. You've done a lot of reading, I'm hearing. You've done a lot of reading. I think you've had a similar experience to me, which is that I couldn't get enough, right? Once I received those first bits of information, it started to crack me open to the truth of myself in this reality, to the truth of myself as a divine, limitless being having a temporary human experience here in this moment of the Great Awakening on Gaia. I couldn't get enough information, and I just digested it so much so that intellectually I was receiving a lot of information, but it wasn't necessarily being integrated into my physical body. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. And you are understanding that there's a process to the awakening journey, and that you're already aware that there's going to be a lot of upheaval and a lot of changes and a lot of shifting, that people will come and go, that things are going, there's just a lot of change. You get that. And there's some fear around that. There's a fear around taking this step into the abyss, even while you're entertaining so much excitement and desire to be there already. But you are feeling some hesitance. And what Spirit wants you to know right away is that those moments of shift and change, you can't force them to happen. They happen when they are supposed to. Your highest self is your guide. Your highest self, your soul, knows when things are going to take place. Be in the present moment. Be in this moment of being excited about what you're learning, of being in your power, of radiating all of this light without feeling the need to push what you've learned into being before it's time. There's a strong message here that's about being patient with yourself and where you are in your journey, and being patient with others and where they are in theirs. Okay. I am getting a message for some of you. This is going to be for some of you, but not for all. So there's a few, you have received some guidance that is, and I'm getting like you again, with this fifth ray of knowledge, you glean some insight based on the information you are digesting. And then it was followed up by some intuitive guidance that lets you know that a committed relationship you're in may be something that is no longer working for you. And you are struggling with that information and insight. There is a lot of fear around potentially letting go of that connection. I'm also getting that for some of you, you've received guidance from other people in your physical reality that the relationship that you're currently in, whether it's a marriage or just a long-term committed partnership, that's not a relationship that's for you, that it's not something that you're meant to be in. This is causing a great deal of fear because you're feeling differently. And I am getting a strong message from Spirit again about patience, about trusting your own intuitive guidance. We're going to receive guidance from a number of different places, but we need to remain really grounded, body, mind, and spirit, grounded in self, clearing the mind of clutter, whether it's coming from outside you or inside you, so that the next steps will present themselves in a clear way you can understand. Again, there's a message here about pushing before it's time, about trying to make things fit where maybe they are not supposed to fit. And I'm being guided to share with you that no one can tell you what is right for you. This is a journey that's about listening, learning to listen to your intuitive guidance that comes from within. That comes from within you. So yes, it's part of the human experience to seek outside of ourselves, to seek validation of our thoughts and feelings from other people, from qualified people. Maybe this is coming from a therapist. Maybe it's just coming from a trusted friend who's always given sound advice. There's nothing wrong with having sounding boards in our reality, and actually sometimes it's through our sounding boards that we get more insight into how we're thinking and feeling. I was just talking to a friend this morning, sometimes it's by talking about things out loud that we get more clarity around what we want to do, about what we need to do, about what actions we should take, about what we're feeling, clarity around what we're thinking and feeling that's been confusing beforehand. Nothing wrong with having sounding boards, nothing wrong with seeking guidance outside of ourselves, but ultimately the decisions on how to use that information must come from within us. Must come from within us. No one can tell you what is right for you, but you. Okay, let's go ahead and get some guidance for you. And again, I'm getting a message before we pull the guidance cards about patience, you know, not to react from a place of fear. You have doubts that are arising about this connection, or about even just new steps to take along your journey. And the guidance is to take some steps back and allow the next steps to emerge before you step forward. You don't have to make any decisions, especially when you're in a place of fear and confusion. Okay, so we're going to turn that around. Oh. Yep, we're going to turn this around. Okay, so guidance for you, we have the Three of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords, and the Hermit. So Spirit is suggesting to you that you... Oh, okay. Okay, for some of you it's upright, and for some of you, okay, so they say start here. So for some of you, this is in the reverse, and the guidance from Spirit for some of you is to rely less on information from other people. The Three of Pentacles is about collaborating with others. And for some of you, there's a need to step back from that and to be in the Hermit energy, which is about going within. This is an energy of solitude. This is an energy of being alone and using that time for reflection to gather insight that comes from within. This is the truest kind of guidance because it comes from your highest self rather than from those around you. And then for others of you, I'm getting the message for you that Spirit is suggesting that you can continue to seek guidance, you know, like with the Counselor card, from others. You can continue to engage with others, but that ultimately you're the person. So they're drawing my attention to this dynamic here in the Three of Pentacles card. And you know, there's just one person that's doing the actual work. It looks like he's chiseling into this nave. You know, he's doing the masonry work on this cathedral-like structure. And there are certainly people here that are giving guidance, that are giving advice, that are telling them overall where this person's work should be taking them. But ultimately, it is you that holds the chisel. So the suggestion is to remember that while you receive guidance and insight and information from others, ultimately it is you that will take the action. And so it is self-reliance is important, trusting your intuitive guidance. As the moon, full moon in Virgo comes in, like trusting your intuition is going to be super key for navigating these fears. Okay. The Ten of Swords. This is an energy of suffering and pain. But the guidance here is that this is closing out. Tens are about new cycles beginning. And I'm hearing to feel the hurt and the pain that you've experienced, not to gloss over it. There's a need, there's a purpose for this hurt and pain, but not to linger in it. not to allow it to trap you, not to allow it to cause you to move into a place of stagnancy. You're moving into a new cycle where this pain is going to serve a higher purpose. And again, with the Hermit, going within, whatever that does, whatever works for you to get you to that place, whether it's meditation. I'm hearing running and exercise for some of you, wherever you do your best thinking, like intuitive thinking, wherever you can get into your creative flow. But there is a need to practice some independence as you do these things so that you can really hear your intuitive voice over the voices of others around you. I hope that these messages were helpful for you, Aries. I'm going to try and get back here before the spring equinox, but it's a busy March season for me as well. So if I don't make it back before then, I'm sending you so much love and light. Good luck to you as you move forward during this time. So much love, many blessings to you. See you soon.